Using the power of a story exchange, we hope to raise awareness, shatter stereotypes, break down barriers, and strengthen our LREI community. The Narrative 4 Story Exchange model was created in 2012 after a 5-day gathering of literary minds and social justice advocates. The founders created this model believing that we can see the world and even understand ourselves differently if we could just harness the power of the personal narrative.
We're all spread like wildfire.
Coming home to that empty home was really hard.
But while I'm in labor,
all of a sudden a shark is coming toward me.
But I was afraid.
I was 10 years old. I didn't cry.
This is the oldest thing in the world, you know. Since the days that we were drawing pictures on the cave walls, we've been telling each other stories. That's the essential spirit of Narrative 4, that we look at one another and say, I'm gonna tell your story, you're gonna tell mine, and you're gonna blow my mind open with my own story.
whenever you're ready.
This year, 5th graders are participating in their first story exchange. As part of our empathy unit in adolescent issues, 5th graders have reflected on a story about a time they were wrong about a place or a person. The stories are true, heartfelt, and sometimes humorous. To help each student find a story to share, we followed the Narrative 4 model. Students first listened to a story related to building empathy, and they were then given a prompt and time to jot down the most essential elements of their own story. Each student in the pairing told their story and heard their partner's story. The final, and for many the most moving part of the exchange, was when students told their partner's story to the group as if it were their own.
Well, the story exchange is best put like this. I'm going to become you, you're going to become me.
A story exchange is this really magical thing.
When you have a partner and you share a story with each other.
And it can be funny, it can be tragic.
It's usually a story that has some vulnerability.
To tell somebody else's story, it was, to me, one of the most incredible experiences.
It can be comical.
It's a little bit scary at first.
Felt like a lot of responsibility.
A story can be a fragile thing. It's like you have to give a part of like your life to someone else, but like you still own it, but so do they.
Our motto for Narrative 4 is fearless hope through radical empathy, where we sort of dwell in someone else's body, dwell in someone else's country, dwell in someone else's skin and mind for a while. If we can know that our story is valuable and the story of the other person across the street, across the ocean, across the wall happens to be valuable too. There are all sorts of things that we can do in relation to ideas of peace, ideas of belonging, ideas of becoming. To me, that's the essential spirit of Narrative 4. Live your life out loud. Be raw, be brave, step into someone else's shoes. See what it feels like for a while to be someone else.
On Friday, December 7th at 8:45 a.m. in the 6th Avenue cafeteria, we hope that you will join your parent peers for a Narrative 4 story exchange during the Open PA Equity Meeting, Raising Race-Conscious Children. To learn more about Narrative 4, visit their website at www.narrative4.com. See you December 7th.